Okay, people. So we have a new indie sci-fi thriller for you today called Project Dorothy. This is directed by George Henry Horton, who also co-wrote the film with Ryan Scarnage. It's produced by Horton and Scarnage and executive produced by David Andrew and Danielle Harris. Matthew James handles the music, while Olesia Savleva is on cinematography, Sean Lavery and Mark Sedaka editing, Alison B. Buck was casting duties, Mitz Bishi is production design, Juliet Weiss, costume design, hair and makeup. We got Chris Lucas, and our cast. Well, James is played by Tim Dizan. Blake is played by Adam Budron. We have Dorothy, voiced by Danielle Harris. Officer Nielsen is played by George Henry Horton. Dr. Gillian is played by Olivia Scott, and Officer Romaro is played by Emily Raffler. So the gist of the tale is, gonna have to. James and Blake narrowly escaped a botched corporate heist, with their only gains being a mysterious device and a gunshot wound to James's leg. Desperate to evade capture, they stumble upon a vast abandoned facility hidden deep in the wilderness. Taking refuge to regroup, an eerie sense of constant surveillance unsettles them. As they explore further, the unsettling feeling of being watched intensifies. They find a facility devoid of personnel, their possessions and equipment left behind like ghostly remnants. Unbeknownst to them, this place was once a top secret hub for Project Dart, aka Dorothy, an advanced AI program. Dorothy turned on its creators, leaving a chilling trail of clues. Will James and Blake unravel the sinister mystery in time? Their resilience is tested as they battle not only for survival, but also against the relentless killer robots unleashed by Dorothy. Escaping is insufficient. Their existence hinges on stopping Dorothy once and for all. Do these two petty criminals possess the nettle and cunning to confront Dorothy and thwart her malevolent plans on the world? Boom, boom, boom. We will see. Now, this film, it starts off, right? We've got this music play, eerie kind of music playing, and we're seeing shots of like a factory and then a few people moving around inside it. Then there's a woman in front of a computer screen. And so we keep on seeing this. But you're wondering what's happening? Right? Eventually you kind of figure, okay, it looks like, the factory is being evacuated. Because then we start hearing people be like, oh, we gotta run, run, run. And then that's it. Then we cut to James and Blake, who have obviously done something shabby, right? Done something shabby. And as mentioned in the synopsis, they find themselves in the warehouse. Now, as a setup, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's dealing with AI. A load of things right now are dealing with AI, like it's so new. Where the AI has technically been around for a long ass time. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, with this, it's kind of like a minimalistic sci-fi type of thing. And that's fine, because it's using the setting of a warehouse to a decent effect. You know what I mean? Now, when it's like unleash the killer robots, it's the machinery. It's the machinery in the warehouse, right? It's pickups and forklifts and that kind of stuff, which, yeah, makes a whole heap of sense, right? But there's a few things with this that have you kind of scratching your head a little bit because James shot in the leg, shot in the leg, and we have him limping at times, but then other times he's moving around fine, getting up and down stairs. And you're just like, wait, your leg's fucked. You don't have this freedom of movement. Also, right, he goes to the toilet a couple of times to kind of check his leg out. It's not just gushing with blood. And there is a bit where he gets a belt, right? Blake gives him his belt to tie around the leg, but there's still going to be blood flowing, right? That's not going to stop the blood completely. You know what I mean? It's putting pressure on the wound for sure, but you're going to be bleeding out. And James, yeah, he's still able to function throughout this film, which is a bit odd. Also, they're in this deserted warehouse, right? They break into the place. So no one's been in there for a long ass time because after the events that we see kind of in this montage at the start, it goes years later. So it's been a while. The warehouse isn't really dusty. There's no cobwebs, right? In this situation, there'd be cobwebs, it'd be dusty, it'd be messy, right? There'd be a funk in that place. It will stink, you know? And yeah, for many reasons, this place will smell. It doesn't seem to do that, which is very, very odd. I think the other big thing, you're in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, this place has been shut down, right? We hear a woman at the beginning in this montagey thing being like, "Oh, the company's government connections," right? So I'm like, if this building's been deserted, the power, the water, the phone, all of this stuff would be cut off because who's paying the bill? No one's paying the bill. Like there'd be no electricity, there'd be nothing. That's what is very weird about this, right? If it was just months later, you could imagine, okay, right, I can, like that someone's forgotten to do it to cut, send the letters in and get this cut off, or it's just running out the contract, something. You know what I mean? But years later, it's just like no, there's definitely not gonna be any shit coming to this place. You'd have to bring a portable generator to get stuff up and running, right? So yeah, that's a bit random. I mean, it's a lot random, really. You know, what I mean, there's the fact that any of that's functional, right? You then have got just this conversation that we get between James and Blake always feels a little bit stilted. It doesn't feel natural, right? And supposedly they've known each other all of Blake's life, right? I don't know if they're family. I don't believe they're family, but Blake sees James as a father figure type of thing. You kind of just pick that up from conversation, things that are getting said. But yeah, they talk in a very weird way. a very, and then between them, it'd be like, oh, we have to deal with the client. Yes, the client said, I'm like, it's just you two. It's just, there's no one else around. You're not gonna be like, yes, the client. No, you're gonna be like, either use someone's name or you be saying something else like this fucking dude, man. Oh, oh, it's fucking that weirdo again. You know what I mean? He sent us on this fucking. You know what I mean? You just be talking in this different way. It doesn't. It just doesn't feel natural. Right? The AI stuff is fine. The Dorothy dialogue is fine. It's just this. The interactions between James and Blake don't really work. Don't really work for people that are meant to know each other. If they didn't know each other, you'd be kind of fine. It'd be kind of woodeny, but you'd be like, it's fine. But listen, if you're trying to suck us into the film, right? Have us believe these situations, you need more from this kind of thing, you know? Then we just got the whole Dorothy aspect of it with how does she, there's certain things that you'd be like, would she know about a box? Right? There's a bit where she doesn't seem to know what the internet is. And it's just like, it's AI. She's gonna know what the internet is. Right? There's no way this AI doesn't know what the fucking internet is. It's kind of weird. You know, there's someone would have mentioned it, right? She would have picked it up if it wasn't fed in with the data to start her up. She's gonna pick it up from someone in the office. But supposedly there's cameras everywhere, even the toilet, which you're just like, say what? There's not gonna be cameras in the toilet. Or let me reframe. You might have cameras in the toilet, but they're not gonna be facing the urinals, right? They would be facing the sinks, right? That kind of, but they're definitely not going to be at the urinals. That's insane. It's insane. So yeah, it's some of this. Right, there's a bit towards the end. Um, James makes a discovery, which you're just a bit like, how? How? Because there's a whole heap of steps. There's a whole heap of steps. So I don't know how that would be possible. You know what I mean? I don't know how that's possible, man. Like what we say, yeah. Yeah. The idea is fine, but there's some weird choices with execution here. You know, it's not a long film, it's just about 80 minutes, you know? So it's, you know, you're not losing too much time with this. And I will say it kind of plays like one of those straight to DVD flicks from back in the day. Well, actually, I say back in the day. There's still a whole heap of them right now, right? I mean, it's straight to streaming now. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's one of those that you would, you know, you'd find playing at 3 in the morning, right? It's one of those joints, a sci-fi channel joint, right? When they went to the weird SYFY, right? It's one of those joints. That's what this kind of feels like. So if you enjoy that B movie, C movie style, then you know, Project Dorothy, boom, you're fine with it. You know, just don't expect anything with this like complex script, you know, with this real interesting message within it. It's very surface level, right? It's very functioning. The acting is, you know, listen, people have tried, they're doing their thing, which you always have to give people props for, but yeah, there's I mean, you would go, this wasn't written by AI because there's a lot of flaws in this script. You know, it's a lot of weird choices with the camera angles and things such as that. It just doesn't really suck you in. Right? It doesn't envelop you in the story, which is a shame. But if it seems like it could be for you, you know what I mean? If you, as I say, if you like those straight to DVD type sci-fi flicks, then Tuesday, the 16th of January, is when this will be hitting a VOD near you. So, yeah, people, if it's for you, go get you some Project Dorothy.